If you like the video, please consider supporting James Corp on Patreon. Alright, welcome back to week 6 part 3, which is the final part. Don't forget, if you're enjoying this, to like and subscribe. And now we'll kick back over to Scott.
Okay. So, when we last left, you guys had utilized the vinegar to remove the blood and read the letter in its entire format, which gave you a little bit more information as to what Master Vernon was trying to talk to Mayor Nightpitch about. Well, it's clear that this letter never made it to him. As you know, you found it on the floor covered in in someone's blood. And, but it does give you a little bit more of information as to what might be going on. And so we kind of come in with our characters here in a bit of a conundrum, because there seems to be a bit of confusion as to who this person is. You found some information and evidence that suggests it might be an elf. There's the flayed skin of an elf on the floor. Esbetha came in, though, and she says that it must be Master Vernon, because he has, the 2 wounds, missing fingers of some time ago when he was spending time with the witches in Davokar. So this is where we're going to come back into the scene in the murder in the room where the murder takes place, and see what our characters decide they're going to do with this information.
Can I throw which site on her? Check
on Esbetha?
Esbetha, yeah.
Oh, sure. This is just straight.
Against her discreet.
Okay.
I can make roll. Vigilant, yeah, discreet. What's the penalty?
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and give you a +2 on it, just because of the scene. She's not watching you.
No, failed.
Okay. Now, does that mean your witch sight fails, or that just means she knows that you are putting the evil eye on her?
It fails.
Okay.
Yeah, each attempt. Yeah, and I suffer D4 corruption.
Would you like to spend a point of experience to re-roll it?
Is it important?
Good question.
Yeah, I'm asking other players. Yeah, should I?
Well, I mean, you got
result in you gaining more than 1 experience. That's the way you've got to look at it.
Yeah.
And also you got to look at the percentage chance of you succeeding. So you're above 10, so it's above 50%, but only just above 50% chance of doing it.
Yeah, I'll try it again.
You could also maybe spend or gain 1 corruption to do it rather than XP.
Yeah.
Oh, I can gain 1 temporary corruption or
1 permanent.
Yeah, 1 permanent.
No, thank you. No, thank you. I'll reroll it.
Okay.
If it's temporary corruption, it'd be a bit too easy, wouldn't it?
Oh, I succeeded. 1.
Oh, look at that.
Critical success.
So, with the knowledge that you're aware of, the person who would have done this, Philip, and even with the additional information provided by the letter from Master Vernon, that this is an ancient and baneful art, born of darkness, that someone's shadow would just stand out. Fortunately, the shadow of Esbetha does not. She shines with a bit of shimmering metallic red, mixed in with flecks of silver, but you don't see any serious corruption at all with her shadow.
Do I see any corruption? Not even a little bit?
No, I'm gonna say the red, though, does pertain to bits of hatred. Her attitude towards the elves of the Iron Pact, certain magics. It's based in ignorance and fear. But she's not a horrible person. She's just, willfully ignorant of a lot of things that happen around her.
Okay, I'll Humsis. She didn't do this. She's not corrupted, but she's a redneck. Heavy redneck. Extremely
Fantastic.
redneck.
Yeah, we see a red cap tucked into a back pocket. Yeah.
Oh wow! I just realized it would go both ways. MAGA could be make Ambria great again. So she's not wearing that hat, but she might as well be. So moving on. So Oleg, yes, you have other than
Please, Mayor
does the-
Nightpitch is not Trump, is he?
does the town have a wall round it?
it does.
Yeah.
Oh well, at least they've been a bit more successful than someone else. But who paid for it?
Yeah, did they make the barbarians, the residents of Nabokar, pay for it?
Probably did. So, Revnia, give me a give me a vigilant roll.
Yep. I was going to say as well, Oleg needs to do a corruption.
Oh
there.
yeah.
Any modifiers?
For your vigilant roll?
Yep.
No, just straight.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And so, that's your correct. Wow. Okay.
Wow. Yeah.
All right. So fair enough. Revnia. So, you're watching Oleg, and you're aware of what he's doing, and as he brings you this information back from what he's seen, you're looking down on him. He's a small goblin, and still your eyes are darting back and forth. You notice something down by the base of the desk, kind of near where the bloodied paper that was found, but something kind of catches your eye. Just as the clouds kind of part for a moment and some sun kind of hits the window, a little gleam of metal kind of just flashes a little bit from under the desk, and as your eyes focus on it, you can kind of see that there's a ring lying under the desk.
I'll kneel down to pick it up.
Okay. So as you do, you notice that it's an iron ring. It's bloodied, likely maybe tossed aside, by the murderer. And as you kind of hold it up, it looks, on the outside, just a normal kind of just iron ring, a basic adornment that people would wear. But you see inscriptions on the inside. Is it safe to assume that you're not versed in Elvish?
I wouldn't be able to read it, but I might know it's Elvish.
Okay, so yeah, I'll say that the you do realize that it is the Elvish language, but you can't decipher it. And do you keep it now as you're leaning over to pick it up? Do you keep it to yourself, or do you show it, make the other group aware that you have it?
I'll keep it to myself for now.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so here we are. Okay, so we're kind of at the, you have bits of information. You still have some other things that you might be able to decipher from this scene, but where would you all like to go from this point?
Should I try and communicate with the body?
Well, you need to know. You need yes or no questions, don't you?
Yeah.
I have a question for those who know medicine, or whatever it's called. How old's the body? Like, how long has it been here for? Like, how long has it been dead for?
Oh, the blood is still fresh. I mean, it's starting to get tacky during your investigations, but this is, clearly this happened a few hours ago.
Okay, just making sure.
Oh yeah, no, they Oleg and anyone else with the Medicus, or I'm sorry, Mrs. Xerix, would be able to tell you that outright without a problem.
Is Betha still here?
She's there currently. She's kind of silently. She's averted her eyes away from the body. She's had enough, but she's kind of faded into the background near the door, kind of getting a little bit, antsy, but silent.
I do want to go up to her and ask. Do you know the names of any of the visitors that Master Vernum had?
Well, I don't really keep that kind of information. That's his own to. Well, that's his own to keep, but I do have some of his calendar information that he has given to me to transcribe for him. The only note that we have of the elf visiting, which I've never met before, the only other thing that we have are the places that he's been to prior to today.
Would you mind if we could have a look at those?
Mm-hmm. And so here we are. Let me give this to you. Okay, so the first, copy this. Okay, one place of note that he's been to recently is the salons of Symbaroum for food and drink. He's also gone to visit Father Sarvola at the mission house. He tutors outside of the academy with orphan children and also, goblin juveniles. There's also a note here. Oh, sorry, I didn't send that yet. There we go. There's also a note here that he went to go speak with Captain Marvello of the Town Watch, or he had an appointment with him. And the other note in his calendar was he did go to his alma mater, the local town Ordo Magica chapter at the tower, to look up rituals and to just occasionally read in the library, which he does.
And did any of these visits seem strange to you?
Well, other than the visit with, with Captain Marvello, those are the only ones that kind of fall out of sorts with his, his weekly outings. I mean, he's not known to not speak with him on occasion, but I think, with this whole Flayer nonsense, he might be trying to garner some information or talk to him about it because of, the murders that have been happening.
Is this conversation audible for the rest of us?
I would say, unless unless she says otherwise, and Revnia was kind of keeping this secret, that she would have been opening up his calendar book, his registrar, and reading this aloud, just going over the stuff for the few days prior to this.
In which case, Alfgon would like to ask the lady, how many victims have there been of the Slayer, the Flayer, and were they any persons of note, or do the killings appear to be random?
Oh, that's something that I don't really follow too much.
No, that's fine.
That
I mean,
you would
we
might
can
want
always
to
ask
talk.
the guard captain, because
Yeah.
I have a feeling we may be heading there at some point soon.
Okay, so, but no, as far as any recent visitors other than his normal students, the only thing odd that occurred was, those horrible nature-loving elves.
Yes, being visited by an elf is rather unusual.
Yeah. So let's see here. Let me back up here a moment. So I do have a question for kind of out of game for Oleg. Okay. So as Betha has made it clear, she doesn't really like that kind of stuff. So before you proceed, if you were going to go with necromancy, this would be something that you're not stupid, that you would be aware of, and it might be a delicate matter before you proceed. So
yeah, I would wait for her to leave for sure. So I wouldn't try it in front of her.
okay, well then present to me what you're going to tell her to get her out of the room, and then we can go forward with that.
Well, I'd love a cup of tea. I'd love a cup of tea. Should we go make some tea for these fine fellas?
Oh yes. Where are my manners? Absolutely, Mr. Maligno. Let's definitely make our way downstairs and
maybe a few biscuits or cake.
Absolutely. I will. It will definitely take my mind of such things, and so she promptly leaves the room and makes her way downstairs. And Maligno, are you going to? You don't need to stay with her. I mean, you could, but did you want to just leave her there because she's going to be making?
Yeah, I'm going to go with her so that so if she decides to come back, I'll be like, all right, so we're going back up, are we? Like really loudly.
Got it. Okay. All right. So are you going to? So Oleg, do you have the information at hand for necromancy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Here it is. Should I pass it on to the?
If you have the information, otherwise I can grab it by the PDF. But
I'll copy
nice
it in the chat.
Okay.
Could Revnia assist with this, even if it's just narratively, because this ties into a boon I want to take.
Doesn't
need to be any mechanical bonus. Just
my question is, what is the I know the Templars' general stance on certain mystics aren't that keen, but as long as they're not blight stricken severely.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I know your stance was kind of separate than what the standard Templars are, right?
Yeah, so, Revnia would probably view it that if she's assisting, that she can make sure it's done in a safer manner.
I would say sure. I would say so. How would you be assisting then? Would be my question.
It depends how Oleg would do the ritual, really.
Okay. Well, let's see here. Okay. So tradition, which the mystic can ask a number of questions to the dead person, either by sitting next to its body. Each question demands a successful resolute test, and the dead answers either yes or no by knocking. One knock for no, two for yes. In the case of the failure, the mystic can still try to force an answer, but at the risk of becoming possessed by the spirit. If the test has failed, the mystic becomes possessed and is forced to perform the last wish of the dead, often of a vengeful nature. Okay. I will say, okay, so I will give this to you. As far as assisting, how about we frame it as, Oleg not being well versed in the languages and the proper etiquette of man, that Revnia is a bit more astute in that regard and can help him form his questions better, therefore giving him, assistance in his resolute test. Does that work? Okay. Yeah. All right.
What should we ask the dead person?
Are you an elf?
Yeah. First, are you Mr. Vernon? If it's not him, then if he is an elf, and then what?
Was Mr. Werner who kills you?
Okay.
Do you know who the Flayer is?
Okay.
Yeah.
problem with that though, Danny. If the ghost says
Yeah,
yes,
Yes or no?
what? How do we narrow that down?
It's the
Yeah.
Flayer Maligno, yes.
He'll probably know who's Flayer.
Yeah, but if we say like this, are you do you got killed by the Flayer? Yes.
Yes,
And
yes,
then
yeah.
if she says, do you got killed by Mr. Werner? And he also clapped yes. Then we know that Mr. Werner is the Flayer. That's how we put them together.
I mean, you can ask as many tests as he pass.
Aha, okay. I was like, let's have a chat with the boy here now. So it's limited. Okay, how many we get?
Well, depends. I'll start when you will ask.
Do they get harder by the time?
No, it's just if he fails,
Yeah.
each successful resolute test and the dead answer is either yes or no. In case of failure, the mystic can still try to force an answer from the dead, but at the risk of becoming possessed. So Danny can ask a question, but if he fails, that's it. So you have to move on to a next one. But he can try.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but then Philip could try to push it. But then if he fails that again, or he can become possessed.
Nah, we don't want that.
Yeah, we'll try.
Interested.
Okay. Should we start?
Yep. So why don't you just for fun, what is the process that Oleg is going to take? Because this is a ritual aspect, so this is not just snap your fingers.
He'll
So
pull out some twigs and make little symbols, forest symbols.
Okay.
Communication with dead, probably some bones from dead animals or something like that.
Okay.
And start tapping his drum.
Okay. All right. So so the process occurs, and you can feel the presence around you, Oleg. So what is your first question you're going to ask? You feel the presence, but you haven't identified who it is. You just know there's a presence with you now.
Hello, Mister. Are you Mr. Werner?
Okay, so I need a resolute test, and then you're going to get a plus one from with the assistance of Revnia.
Okay.
Okay.
Success.
All right. So what is it?
Yes.
No, that's a no.
No,
This
it's
is
one
one
is
for-
no, two is yes.
Aha, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So this fucked up, he's an elf.
No, he's not. You know he's Mr. Werner, but you don't know if he's an elf. You know this body is Master Vernum.
Yeah. I'm communicated with Master Werner.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Next question.
Have you been killed by Flayer?
Okay. Give me a roll.
Success.
Perhaps you should ask if it's an elf. Just double check.
No, I have a better question. Did the Flayer take your skin? Your appearance skin.
Okay.
No failure.
No. No.
Okay.
No.
So
Should I push it?
What? Well, okay, wait. What's the pushing? How it works with the pushing?
Well, if I push and I fail,
You get possessed. But what's
Ravnia
the,
will have to hit me in the head with the herb.
what happens if you get possessed?
Well,
Do you become that person? Maybe we can have a conversation in that way.
well, I don't know.
We get more than yes and no answer if possess you and it can right? I don't know.
I don't know how that might.
I don't know either. I'm just
Let's try.
let's see. Okay, one other question.
Is
Because
the
we got a list of different persons that visit him at the end, right? If we could like know if he's one of those people, we can like.
Can I push the same question later on, or I have to do it right now?
I'll say yeah.
I can. Okay.
I'll tell you what. You could ask. Do you know who the Flayer is?
No. Is the Flayer someone you know?
No, but from the list, we want to know if the list, because who knows? He knows everybody, right? I mean, we got a list of, like Father Sarvola, since the tutor helped with the education.
I mean, there's no limit to the amount of questions we can ask, so.
Captain Marvelo.
That's too many people.
Yeah, but just
Yeah,
remember.
but
Maligno. Don't
Yes
forget
or no.
Maligno.
But we could ask if one of the Flayer is one of the persons in that list.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm just thinking. Yeah. Yes.
If this is Werner and the skin is on the ground, the Flayer probably changes skins.
Oh.
He kills a person. Yeah, that's why I asked if the Flayer took your skin.
What?
Then Mr. Werner is a Flayer.
At the moment,
Yeah,
possibly. Yeah.
that's
Right.
why that question was important.
Who is Mr. Werner scheduled to meet this afternoon? Is there anyone on his meeting list?
For this afternoon, nobody.
No. So, okay, that doesn't help. And if he's going to meet like the captain of the guard this afternoon, then we'd know where to go. It'd be too easy.
So what's the next question?
We're thinking about it.
Oh, and mind you, Philip, I'm not looking. I didn't look it up. But are you taking corruption for these?
No.
Okay.
It says nothing about the corruption.
Okay.
I say we will ask if the Flayer is one of these, but maybe if he change, skins, then it doesn't matter.
Is the Flayer looks like you now? But it's almost the same question as previous. So.
Yeah, but it's just a rewording. It isn't.
Yeah.
You aren't pushing the question, are you? You're technically pushing the question, but you're not pushing the question because you're asking it from a different way.
Think it's a little bit the meta gaming. If we can,
It's a bit of sophistry that.
like I don't know. Is the game master is Scott, but I think it would be like a little bit boring if you can just change words.
Rework the question.
Well, but see, I'm not going to answer that because we'll just see what happens if you fail.
Yeah, but then I have to throw it differently. Yeah.
Right.
Let's push the question.
Which one?
The one about if the Flayer took his skin or
if the Flayer took his skin.
Okay. Yeah, if I put it like that. Yeah. Okay. I have to throw it against Resolute.
Are you good in Resolute?
Yeah, I have 16. With Revenue's help. But I don't know what's the Resolute of the Spirit.
Oh boy. They don't have that listed here, to be perfectly honest. Let me check the appendix real quick. No. Interesting. Go ahead and just give me a roll. I mean, if it's with your
with
res-
one, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
rolled 5, so
Yeah, I mean, if it was like an obvious failure, then we would have
Yeah.
just gone with that. Okay.
if it was close, yeah.
And what was the question again?
Did the the Flayer took his skin and likeness?
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
yes.
Yes. Oh.
2 knocks are yes. Oleg, give me a just another resolute test. The +1, or actually no, no, that's
yeah, I
fine. No,
succeeded,
that's fine.
yeah.
When that is revealed to you, you suddenly realize something very important that should have been perfectly obvious to you at the time, but if that skin on the ground is not the same person that you're talking to, you can also get information from the skin through the same ritual.
Yeah, I figured that out.
Okay.
So it's like, so this Flayer, he's like a doppelganger, right?
He changes skins, yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
kind of what you're kind of coming to that conclusion. Yes.
Yeah.
Not
Okay.
in the not in the D&D terms, but yeah, very very similar to what it is. So
Yeah.
okay.
That's fucked up. He can be anybody.
Yeah.
As soon as we get close to him, he just switch. You know, we're fucked.
He has to skin them first before he can
this,
wear their skin.
This will be nasty. Is there any more questions that I should ask him?
Oh, I can think of some, but
Yeah. Yes, no answers are always a pain. 'Cause, you know, do you know where he is gone? Yes or no, but then that doesn't help us.
Yeah.
Unless we name every place in the city.
That's
Has he gone to the prodding goat?
Let's avoid the questions. Yeah.
Is he Malingo?
Yeah, let's ask that one.
Ask if he is looking for the king's skull, the Flayer.
Okay. Success. No.
Right,
So
Scott had
they're
to
not
think about
connected.
that. Right, so from my assumption of the time that it took Scott to think about it, he already has the skull in his possession.
Yeah. He has to do something. Is he connected to the skull?
oh, give me a roll.
Yeah. Success.
So, who?
The Flayer.
So you're saying is the Flayer connected to the skull?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Man, this got really hard in 0 times.
Ask whether the people who've been killed by the Flayer were also connected to the skull. It's
Good
basically a hit list. He's tracking them down, get revenge or something. I don't know.
Success.
Let me mute that.
I succeeded on the question.
Right, and you answered no. They're not all connected to the skull.
That'd be too easy, wouldn't it?
Anyone any ideas?
I'm downstairs making tea and getting a cake.
Evnia, can you please help us?
We'll say I can't ask the questions when I give him the list of places or names.
Well, think about the information that you have. I mean, you have quite a bit, whether it's stuff that you found or stuff that's been provided to you.
We don't know about the ring.
No, you don't. Revnia has not revealed it yet.
We know about the mayor, and we know about
Ask if the mayor is connected somehow to the Flayer.
his. Okay, I don't know if he should know that, but okay, I'll ask him. No failure.
Okay. Because I mean, he did write the letter to Mr. Nightping or whatever his
Right.
name.
Chat, help us.
Scott, don't just keep your mouth shut.
No, I'm not. I'm not going
just
to
watch
give
his
any
flow.
suggestions. Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know, man. My brain is farting right now.
I mean,
Jay,
you
what were you
haven't
going to-
asked about Maligno. Go ahead.
Well, let's ask the question. Is Maligno the Flayer? Oh, success.
What was that?
No.
It was almost a yes, but no. It was one knock. You're definitely not.
I didn't hear a knock.
Oh, I must have muted. Hold on.
Because you're all the way downstairs.
That's it.
Yeah.
Guilty ears don't hear things.
Exactly. Oh, all right. So yes, Maligno definitely is not the Flayer. What you do hear, Maligno, though, is you do hear a bale of laughter coming from upstairs, and you don't know why. Any more questions? I mean, and granted, James, obviously, feel in to chime in with questions, even though you're not there. But if there's anything that you feel would be a pertinent question.
Did we ask about the mayor? We did ask about the mayor, didn't we?
You asked, and it failed.
Failed.
Did we ask if he knows who the if he knows who the Flayer is?
But the Flayer change
Yeah,
appearance
but
every
he-
time he takes a new skin, so it could be anybody.
He knows who the Flayer is. It's him.
Yeah, it's
At the moment,
It's not though. It's just wearing his skin.
yeah, but the
That doesn't.
Flayer
That
is
doesn't
gonna
make
be
that.
whoever-
That doesn't
whoever
make
that person is.
that doesn't still make it him. Just because he's wearing the leather coat of the leather out the skin of someone else doesn't make it him.
I don't know.
I'm drawing a blank. I hate yes or no questions because you just struggle.
Yeah,
It's just like, oh, no, you can't ask that
Oh.
question because
I mean, there is probably many questions we could ask right now, but we are like,
Well, what you do know now is that body definitely is Master Vernum. That he's not an elf. That whoever that skin belongs to on the ground is not the body hanging before you. And you do know that whoever did this could be wearing Master Vernum's skin right now.
Can you ask if the Flayer? No, because the Flayer
yeah,
is connected to like.
did the Flayer exit the room through the window?
Give me a roll.
Success.
Yes.
So
So we
Did
might
he
have to
came?
find a
Did
trial.
he came from the window too?
Need a roll for that.
yeah, I'm rolling. Success.
Okay, so
He-
he came and went from the window.
He came
Strange
dressed.
in itself.
He came dressed as an elf, killed Master Vernon, and left as Master Vernon through the window. And we probably could walk on the rooftops to see if there is blood trails.
But also the thing you know is, as Betha let an elf in,
Yes.
but the elf also left the way
Yeah.
they came, which is through the front door.
So it's not necessarily the same elf.
could be. Could have just climbed up and went through the window just to make.
I say not necessarily. That's what
I'll ask him if the elf was the same one that visited him before. Okay. First question: did the Flayer had the skin of elf when he killed you? Failure.
It's the word skin. Don't mention skin.
Yeah. Shoot. Was it the same elf? Success. Yes. So it was the
Scott,
same.
how common are elves in Thistle Hold?
Oh, they would be coming in disguise.
Yeah.
They would be, hidden, cowled. They would not be revealing themselves at all.
That's what I thought.
So elf visit. Oh, there's one more.
Now, mind you, she did say that he was one of the few humans who are part of the Iron Pack, so he has contacts with elves. Yeah.
What about asking if the Flayer inherits the memories of the one they're wearing?
Yeah, I wanted to ask the same question. Success. 3 knocks if he doesn't know.
Would he might not even know. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, how would you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's...
No answer.
Yeah.
He's never been the Flayer, so he would know.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Well,
it's a position.
Yeah.
It was.
Has he seen this? Has he seen this iron? Has he seen the irons? This skull. The thing that everyone's looking for.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the skull, the crown? No.
Okay.
Man, this shit is fucked up.
Now, in regards to the window, I heard someone say something he may have left on the rooftop.
Yeah.
If we're kind of coming to the close here, but if someone goes to the window, they can now do a vigilant test again without the -5.
Okay. I'm good at spotting stuff, so maybe...
Yeah, I was going to say that as well. So either me or Danny's character.
You could do it together. You could go to me, to you.
In fact, yeah, go together and we can assist if needed.
Fuck!
Maybe don't assist.
Yeah.
Yeah, just do your own roll. I would if I was you. Elfgarn.
You hear the shout from the window, Elfgarn. There you go. Okay. All right.
See, if you got to do a job, you got to do it yourself. You see, if you want a job done properly, you have to do it yourself.
So
I'm learning, okay? I'm learning.
Elfgarn, so you go to the window, right? And you kind of lean out, knowing that the definitely passed. You're kind of being more vigilant. You see something that didn't catch your eye before, but it's going to need you to kind of climb out through the window to look. I mean, and it's safe. I mean, as you can tell by the image here, it's not like you're going to have any horrible chance of falling, but there's a way to get onto these roofs from the window that you're at.
Okay, I will do so.
Okay.
So care is needed.
So, as mentioned earlier, the sun is changing. The clouds are parting a bit, and the light of the sun kind of hits an area where there's some scattered leaves and other grime, but you can see the redness of the blood now that you missed totally before, and you could see that when they left, the reason why you couldn't see it before is they've kind of mixed it with the grime. They tried to wipe their feet, but they didn't catch it all, and you can catch glimpses of a trail leading north. And I'll bring you to the map real quick. We move to the map here. Okay. And let's see here. Heads off in this direction. And can you see that red on there? I know it might be a little. Okay.
So towards the square, Toad
Yes.
Square.
Mhm.
What red?
Right next to the academy. There's a little red line on there.
No.
You don't see it?
I'm red-green colorblind, so I might be struggling
Yeah,
to see it.
Me too. That might be. I'll add a little like something next to it just to kind of help out.
Let me go to the maps and camera. Let's see if other people can see it. Oh, I see you pinging it. Let me zoom in a bit.
The white line is right next to the red one, so it's
Okay.
leading off in that direction. So.
Oh, I can
But-
just about see the red. It's not the clearest thing to see on that map.
No, not for me either. I know it's there because I drew it, but yeah. So it's leading off, and you're right, leading off towards the square. But it would require you to continue along the rooftops to see where it actually leads.
I will stick my head back in the window and say, I've spotted a trail, I'm going to follow it.
Okay.
Do you have any more questions?
I've got a trail. I know how to track trails. That's what I can do. So watch me fail now I've said that. But that's the hunt. Yeah. I'm a hunter. Give me a trail.
So all of you just go out the window and follow this trail, and I'll come up in like 5 minutes with some tea.
Can we ask? Because I mean,
Hey guys, I got some tea and coffee.
he dream about us, right? So he's connected about us somehow. So maybe we can ask something about his connection to us that may help us.
Well,
Do we gonna catch the Flayer? That's a great question.
oh, well, I'll tell you right off. Don't waste it because he wouldn't know that. The connection that you have was explained in the letter due to the ritual. So he caught glimpses up to the point of his own death, and you are all identified visually through this kind of dream ritual state.
I know. If somebody on the list in danger of being flayed by the Flayer.
That's a valid question.
Yeah, okay, I'll ask it. Success.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe we at least have places to go and ask people at least.
Well, at least one
Which
of the
I
places,
mean is obvious because otherwise we would not get that information either. So
at least one of the places mentioned on the list is in the direction that the trail leads.
is it?
Yeah, the Salons of Symbaroum is in that square, as is the Slaughterhouse, which is an interesting name.
Right.
Who's-
And
Well,
Who's in the salon?
we're close to the end. Maybe
Right.
maybe we could think of some questions for next time that might help us with some more
We
questions.
have a whole month to think about it. I'm
3
gonna go
weeks.
every day
Well,
like
it'll probably be a little bit sooner than that. But
Okay.
let's end it then with Elfgarn making his way across rooftops,
Like Jack the Ripper.
and you continue on, and I'll just for the sake of for everyone seeing, I'm just going to use the white trail. So you follow this. You'll miss it every once in a while. The light will change. You catch it again, but you're a skilled tracker, not necessarily in the city, but it's still blood, and it's just as fresh as it is inside the office that you've left. So a period of time passes, and you leap from rooftop to rooftop, and you see that whoever was doing this could be just as skilled as you are. But eventually you get to the edge of a building, and you can tell that whoever this was has descended into Toad Square, which is, and then I will actually just change the image slightly and just give you a picture of Toad Square. So he could, though, Elfgarn, have continued on the roofs no problem. So there must be some reason for their descent into the square itself. Something of importance. So
His next target is what he spotted.
Oh, he's meeting somebody. He has a meeting to keep.
this is, I mean, if this is where you'd like to stop, it's Elfgarn, finding the dead blood trail, because you don't find anything else. I mean, there's not even worth a vigilant roll, because there's nothing else leading away. Somehow they've just disappeared.
Your
At
daughter's
this point.
behind you.
I know. She wanted to know if I had scissors. So she's the Flayer. But yeah, so unless anybody else, we'll just kind of leave it there. Just take a slightly intrigued and confused Elfgorn standing in the middle of this of Toad, of Toad Square, wondering where this person has gone next. So
I just keep thinking of Toad Hall. I'm sorry.
I know. Well, I'm just thinking of Captain Marvello. I mean, is his first name Tom?
Yeah.
So,
All right, so
Excellent. So there we are. We are at the conclusion of these scenes. So do we want to award experience points now, or do you want to do it after we conclude the stream?
do it now, Scott. Then
Okay.
we have a bit.
Fantastic.
We've got a record of it.
Yep. So I would like each one of you for this scene to get 4 experience points apiece. Okay. And then each one of you did an exceptional job. You have exemplified, some skills within your classes, various traits, various strengths. Every one of you. I mean, even Mally, Maligno. So I want everyone else to get an extra 2 experience points on top of that. But finally, and this is these are rewards on top of other things, but Oleg, you pretty much, due to your necromancy skills, the fact that you are trained in so many things within this, you are a definite big asset for this game. So take 1 more experience point.
Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah.
He impaled people on places and speak with the dead. We would be fucking gone if it wasn't for.
So yeah. So once again, we kind of changed up the experience point situation. I know some people might think that's a lot for one scene in Symbaroum, but this is one of the things within Symbaroum, an alternative set of rules to try to promote them to not hoard them, but spend them every once in a while within the game if you find it necessary, to make things a little bit more extravagant or extraordinary. That's what they're there for. So anyways, there we are. We are at the end of scene 2 in the Mark of the Beast. The next time we meet, we will be moving on to scene 3. So
All right.
you're good.
All right. So, Danny, give yourself a shout out.
Hey everybody, my name is Danny. Playing Sarux. Really fun to be here. I see you next month. Bye-bye.
I don't even think I've got a. Do I even have an up command for you? I don't think so. 'Cause you don't have to-
I don't exist in the internet, so
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're one of them. Right,
He's the
J-Will?
Flayer.
I'm Joel. You can often find me here. You can find me on Twitter as JL7Z because, like I always say, someone always steals JWall, so I can never have it. But yeah. Odds are you might see me more often soon. Who knows?
And that's because the person who steals J-Wall, they're the Flayer. Okay, so next. Anyways.
Philip?
I'm Philip, and we'll probably see me tomorrow or next Monday.
Yeah, it's not tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Because what's his face is not about errors.
Errors.
Well, then if you see Philip tomorrow, he's the Flayer. All right.
Gus?
Yep, Gus, second bracky on Twitter. if you want to follow my inane ramblings, usually about RPGs and the like. If not, I'll see you again in a few weeks for the next instalment in Symbaroum, which I'm enjoying more and more each time we play.
Thank you, Scott.
My name is Scott. You can find me at Hail Orchistorcus on Twitter. Just doing what I do, chatting about RPGs and other things, and complaining about this and that, and occasionally catching, opinionated comments from James and other
What?
people. So, yes. So, other than that, hope to see you here maybe sooner than a month. We might be getting here sooner if all if all the signs turn towards good. So we might be able to do this more often, and looking forward to it. So,
Thank you. As for me, don't forget to if you're watching this, and you can find everyone on the Discord. Everyone hangs out on the Discord. We generally have a Zoom hangout on Tuesday, which everyone's invited to. But you have to be a member of the Discord group to sign up and join the group. Check out Twitter. I post stuff like the videos on YouTube, or if they're on Patreon. Because I do try and do it so that Patreon gets a few days extra to watch the videos. Not that I've got those sort of people that will watch the videos on Patreon at the moment. So yeah, I don't. Yeah, Facebook is just in case you don't use YouTube or Twitter, you can follow me on Facebook where I'll post that I'm going live, and then YouTube is where all the VODs go. So check that out. And also, I recently found a load of videos, like my whole L5R game, like the whole of it. So I might download all that and edit it and turn it into something that can go back on my YouTube channel. But anyway, we will see you all next week. Thank you for watching, and so long.